When people hear the word giants, their minds go backward. Stone tablets, children's stories, ancient myths written off as exaggeration. But the people who claim to have seen giants don't speak like storytellers. They pause. They choose their words carefully. They relive moments they wish they could forget. One former military contractor said it plainly: "If this was fake, I'd sleep better." Tonight isn't about legends. It's about living witnesses, people who walked away from encounters they weren't supposed to survive. The Bible acknowledges giants existed. That's a fact. Genesis, Numbers, Deuteronomy, and Samuel all record them. But Scripture does not sensationalize them, and neither will we. The flood came because human wickedness and violence consumed the earth, that world. Giants existed within that world, not as its sole cause. And Scripture leaves us with a silence that matters. It never confirms that every giant lineage vanished completely. That silence does not give us doctrine, but it allows history to speak, and history has not been quiet. This encounter persists because the details never change. Early 2000s, remote Afghan mountains. A special operations unit is deployed to investigate missing personnel near a cave system. One soldier described the moment the figure emerged. "We thought it was just a man at first. Then it stood up, and it kept standing." Another witness recalled, "Your brain tries to correct what it's seeing. You tell yourself it's a trick of the light, but it wasn't. The being stepped fully into view." Descriptions remain consistent across accounts. 12 to 15 feet tall, thick red hair and beard, 6 fingers on each hand, wearing animal hides, carrying a long spear-like weapon. One operator said, "It wasn't clumsy, it wasn't confused, it knew exactly what it was doing. And then it charged. It moved faster than anything that size should be able to move. A soldier was killed almost instantly. It lifted him like he weighed nothing. There was no struggle. Gunfire erupted. We hit it with everything. It didn't drop right away." When the being finally fell, there was no celebration. Nobody cheered, nobody spoke, and then something strange happened. A helicopter showed up that wasn't part of our unit. No markings, no questions. The body was loaded and removed. We were told to secure the area and forget what we saw. Years later, when these men spoke publicly, they gained nothing. If I wanted attention, I would have stayed quiet. The Afghanistan case is not isolated. The private military contractor described monitoring thermal imaging during a patrol. The heat signature was massive, upright, moving against the wind. Then, command cut the feed. That never happens. Another contractor recalled being warned before deployment. "We were told there are places you don't go, not because of the enemy." A former ranger said, "Locals avoided certain valleys. They wouldn't explain why, just fear. When soldiers don't pursue, something is wrong." Alaska produces some of the most unsettling modern accounts. Not from tourists, from hunters. One lifelong hunter recalled, "I thought it was a tree until it moved." He watched the figure stand fully upright. "I've hunted bears my entire life. It wasn't an animal." Footprints measured 19 inches long. The stride wasn't rushed. It wasn't hiding. Another hunter returned to camp to find it destroyed. Nothing was eaten. That's what scared me. Bush pilots report seeing upright figures crossing frozen terrain, too tall to be human, too straight to be anything else. Entire regions are avoided, quietly. Deep in the Amazon, tribes have warned outsiders for generations, and an anthropologist recorded a translated warning from an elder. The tall ones watch from the trees. Another said, they do not hunt like animals, they choose. Expedition teams often dismiss this until radio contact ends. One missing expedition last transmission reportedly mentioned movement too tall, not human, no recovery. Patagonia has a long history of giant encounters. A rancher describes seeing something watching his land. My doors are 8 feet tall. Whatever that, stood higher. Livestock was found broken, not mauled. Bones snapped, no feeding. Another witness said, it didn't run, it stood there like it wanted to be seen. These encounters do not prove Nephilim, but they do confirm this. Something large exists, something intelligent, something avoids populated areas, and we acknowledge the mystery. One former intelligence analysis said if the public knew, it would cause panic, not curiosity. Giant collapse narratives. So ridicule becomes policy. Mockery is cheaper than disclosure. Scripture doesn't chase giants. History doesn't erase them. Modern witnesses keep speaking quietly. Some things don't go extinct. They retreat, they wait, and they live where humans stopped looking, because not everything ancient is dead. Some things are just out of sight.